Alpha OneTV share now for no lovers in even share. It's for me and Kesi something. In his for time and a beca. Sisi under pa or clean. When you clean and just a good music out to be over an impersonal. My dear Sisi under pa. And on a ginger and young coffee, mommy and Pipamanu Kunimia or Mede or Metimusia by Sika. As some Lester Matthias, I can just say. And near man go free, I know. No wonder. Any neighbor to me, Gyankrumah, near more reading. For ye, sick out do the mamma man and the name as So far as Attorney General Dominicaini, bare last 2 days no about one thing, because and go phone for in the bed charge and my wound to me quiet and Uncle Kayans and the name as right now, no Gyankrumah in summer, what can just say. And go far no more a year akufado. A time Ninano they will face the law, including Gyankrumah. So Gyankrumah si cow the man no. A fine police cases no. And the first car the man akufado mana. Could be restaurant near that no. Sound go funny a day. Yenche mob face the law. And Attorney General a year powerful actions better best strike more part because. And you must say, Attorney General, although you could not say, you have no say. Because that time, no, or got any evidence in the area, although Quakujina Ayas in Libya, and the honor quiet. And you do or that friend and obey. And just a similar now to ya, just an idea, Nanya Sabitua. Now, in some Lester Matthias, I can just say, even go for time, that's I name away, 7 some new year, the air Coswa, just a go Friday, and Ankashi. Come and go tell Lester Matthias, Yaba, needing come try the atwazo.
Open and in the public, and nothing is being covered. Say, Papa Ebeka, Ebonia Ebeka. And Uncle Sosa should let us know the people who need to be held accountable and would hold them accountable because a taxpayers' money. Want to be in millions. And Alista, these people didn't just steal. They stole in millions. They stole in their millionaire thieves.
Yeah.
Millionaire thieves, these MPP appointees, they stole in millions, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them because none of them was held accountable under N.Addo.
Yeah.
N.Addo would clear you. Ya Cecilia Dapa. Ya Cecilia Dapa cry. You $1 million. SNM pass. It's not 1 million Ghana cedis. $1 million. SNM pass simple. She was cleared. That is what gave them the vim and the power to know that I can do whatever I want. I can put my hand in the coffers and get away with it. And see, if the person leading or your boss or no ankasano wafaneba amanu contract for Ministry of Finance 34 million to supply ambulance spare parts, Gyankrumah, painting of underbridges, yamano 25 million, Gyankrumah. And see, if the boss is chopping, won't they chop? Yeah. They will chop. And see, I'm very happy that Ayini, and then I may catch a Madam Fubisi, Ayini Ejumano, Edimpa, but I feel sorry for him because it's not easy going after people. They will try and even attack you spiritually and all that. But he's still going strong, and some of the cases that he touched on was Unibank. I think he cleared the air on Unibank. The allegation was that they had stolen money, and he explained that was not what had happened. I think statements the Bank of Ghana, no, they tried to inflate figures so that they would get the alliances going and all that. And see, there's a penalty for putting out wrong figures. It's not that they stole money. And I think what he's trying to do is to, as much as possible, retrieve monies that is owed the state, rather than just punishing people and throwing them in jail. Because he mentioned, the case was brought home so that they would go into arbitration and see how much money they can retrieve for the state. I think they've agreed on some amount that Unibank would be paying some personalities there. And they have put up landed properties and so on. So the state is getting some of the money back. It's better than getting nothing and then throwing people into jail. I believe that our justice system must really be looked at. Because, for instance, minor offense to say traffic violation. na you work to jail for 5 years. Traffic violation in other jurisdiction, no, you get to do communal labor. Maybe a park, be say corporal for 1 week, or you pay a fine. And see, we must look at some of these methods and not just throw every person who commits a crime into jail, because sometimes when you come back, you can never find your feet again. You are done for life. You are broken. You are broken for life. And see, I'm happy say we are taking other measures. And then he also mentioned say they are about to set up some tribunals. It's very, very good. I think say Yatna Hakra Akada. Yatna Hakra Akada. Yatna Hakra Akada. So that will be fast. Yes, that will be fast track. You do case neba. And you fe na yeko high court then na ya journey for another 10 years na they will be out of power, and then they be at 20-30 years ni hana yes you nipa no is free to walk. Into tribunals are going to make sure say the people would be held accountable. Into when him say who can ghost list one, it's coming. And then I hear that wound to me, my friend wound to me.
Hey, he's your friend.
my friends wound to me charges are ready. Yes, the charges are ready. Into by next week, the be born in this one man. Into that is good news. That is good news. Yes, that is good news. Welcome news. Into Ayini is doing very well. He's doing very well. He should continue, because we campaigned on the basis of accountability.
I say he's not in the rush.
No, because he's not. We are Russia. If you want to just do things in a rush, you will fail, because you have to kind of say cross your T's and dot your I's. Yeah. And he has to make sure he has the evidence. Even with the National Service one, he said he was about to charge them this week, but a new evidence has come up at the Bank of Ghana, where some amount about running into millions of dollars have just been discovered. Boss, Asebi, you pronounce it Asebi something, the former boss for National Service. Asibe, yeah, I think he signed those checks. And they would investigate and look into those the amount that they just discovered at the bank. So they want to investigate that before the final charges are brought. And I think that he's a very good lawyer. He wants to make sure that Okodu Kota and Rebecca said you don't have enough evidence now. Because sometimes in a hurry to prosecute your political opponents, you may rush. Guilty. Don't forget that the punishment for these things is sometimes it's life changing, because who could spend 20 years, 30 years for in someone not to say you are every mukoba cry solo mukoba and some be wuye. May he so rest in peace. Mukoba and be wuye. And it's people's lives at stake. If you are making accusations against people, you have to make sure that you have a good case against them. That is what Honorable Ayini is doing. He's trying to make sure that he has all the evidence ready into Mukokota. Evidence in the court, so the reasonable doubt can be raised by the opponent. Yeah. But when you have as a prosecutor, when you are speaking as a lawyer, as a prosecutor, when you have your evidence ready and before the judge, nothing. He's doing the right thing. Yeah. We should give him the time to continue to do his work. Those saying that Oba Press don't know, Honorable, please continue to brief us. We want to know the status of these cases, so that people will understand that it is not just because we are in power we are trying to witch hunt down. They have to know the extent, because Oman Omuka say Ghana for no mure. If we don't we don't put some of them make some of them pay, then the next 3 years or 4 years they would come and say we only accuse them and we only used oral as propaganda and none of them is in jail. So in the next 3 years, some of them must be guessed at in Sawam.
Very well. I just say, Mutia, Chamba, Muntimo, no matter, talk, ceiling fine. Now, I discuss some paintings and one more because they are obeyed now. That's soon. The bedroom baby now, destination I day, assistant at the amount. If I said that my left kid capsule from Medimosis, Victory.
Me I sleep. Democracy is not like
Slim say.
Me not be catching you.
Slim say.
What are you talking about? Me say, and I make they don't sleep. Dominic Ayeni, for instance, he taught at the university for over 25 years. If I'm like, check, find out. He knows the law.
He taught me.
Yes. Yes.
When I was doing my masters.
What? So watch him. Today at the presidential series, saw an upright personality. Somebody who is forthright with the law. He will not use the law to persecute his opponents. He's only doing the right thing on behalf of the state. He knows his job. He's on top of the processes. Like I said, he's in control and he's prepared to get it right once and for all. So for me, I have no doubts about what he presented today on national television. I was highly enthused. At one point, I was in my room when he enumerated the things. Look at the National Service Secretariat. The National Service Scheme in Dubai, if you could to a champon, 1973. Other ones had been running. The workers' brigade had been running under Akroma. Then under Buzia too, they brought a workers' scheme also in order to take care of those people who had just completed school. So the National Service Scheme was introduced by Achampon. Achampon was shot in 1979 for less than an equivalent of 50,000, of which he had paid 32,000 of it. At the time, the cedi to dollar was 2 cedi 75 pesos. Somebody should calculate at home how small that money was in terms of dollar. Today you have people, small boys who they are not 50, fifth floor, listen, they are not 50 yet. They have stolen 498 million Ghana cedis.
It's more than that. I'm talking about national service.
National service.
It's about 582.
No, okay, Ameko. Look at you people. You have gone to destroy the scheme. Do you know what 582 million can do for the transformation of the national service scheme? Do you know the problems of the national service scheme itself? Go and find out those who go to do national service. We did it after A level and did it. Do you know the problems in there? Please. And then you manage to squeeze out all this money and squeeze it out from the national service. You know, this thing was not done by these young persons. Mugabe, there was a big criminal at the top. Maybe somebody I will call a senior advisor when it comes to stealing in government. He had the practice of it in his previous experience. Somebody who alleged that he sold books that he shouldn't have sold. N.Addo put him where he shouldn't have put him, and he was beyond reach. Domlevo, you know, yes.
But talking about that, you recall that under Kufuor, their was it their national chairman or their chief of staff was caught on record saying that when appointees steal, they need to bring 10% to the party.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yes, what's his name?
Was their chief of
Haruna Ezeku?
Yes, Haruna Ezeku.
Yes, kickback.
So it is part of the DNA of the MPP.
Yes.
They accept stealing by appointees. Into when you steal, it's okay. So far as you come and pay into the coffers of the MPP, they would collect the 10% that comes to them. So this is not the first time. It is an organized crime.
That's what I'm saying.
Organized crime by government to steal from government coffers, and it is endorsed by the presidency. Right at the chief of staff place down to whoever is there. So they understand the language. Go and steal, come and pay 10% and take care of yourself.
It's a crime.
They have a history of it.
Yes.
And Haruna Ezeku, everybody knows what I'm talking about. He was caught on record. He was recorded and saying that was saying bring 10%. And Kufuor.
Yes.
Papa Nana or chief of staff, no. Chief of staff at the time.
Mugabe, said the American Wabosu was saying Sisupi that it's an organized crime. It's a chain of thievery from the top, organized from the center of government. They put certain people at certain places to go ahead, or they come up with the schemes and then they endorse it. Go ahead. This one, it will not see public scrutiny, so that they bring the money to the center. Either because you don't know what they get the money for campaign for. Look at the campaign they ran. On election day, they were sharing money. One of the persons implicated in the national service scheme, she has a football team. When she gets to the park, I know quite here. Sika ocheno, oche 200 cedi notes, no, a bit chawonsa. Fresh. A bit, I say for some guy. enough elections would there be? So mujo musika na want to amanu no. Mugabe.
Omuji scanner no more date say agency ya start to it.
Sir, Mugabe, and interestingly, Ambassador made an interesting point that they are millionaire thieves. High Commissioner. Sorry, let me put it rightly.
To the United Kingdom.
Yes. Look, he says they are millionaire thieves. Mugabe Tiu, you were 1 city, you were tens. They are millionaire thieves. No. I want to show you the level of the have millions. Millions is to the seat power. Because you were 1 city without a zero. Then there were 10 city with 1 0. 100 city with 2 zeros. Then you have 1,000, 3 zeros. Then 10,000 with 4 zeros. Then 100,000 with 5 zeros. She's talking about 1 million. 6 zeros. Omu yesika na. Omu yesika se wo throw paper so a 0000 nkwansia e wetire. Enye sika kuma no mu wia no. So there is a scheme. They are millionaire thieves. That's what I'm saying. How do you put an electrician from Winneba to go and be board chairman at ECG? Then when he electrifies 490 million, you cannot account for it. You come and sit there and then you tell me what? I don't know electrician that or no, or did the circle gather water or he came to the road for we saw him. Then he said he should go ahead electricity company. That one to crime scene he created. They bring the money to the center and somebody controls it. Now me and Nameka say I'm happy that Dominic Ayeni and Justice Remsai look. You will see, you people will clap at the end of the term. Now, when you're talking, I heard you say in Sawam. Why do you take them to Sawam? Thank you, Mugabe. If you take them to Sawam, you are taking them to an international university. You understand? Yes, it's like 900 years. Yes. Oh, Daddy, no. Mugabe, you said 2 years in 3 months and 2 years. No. If you are in Akuse for 1 day, it's like 90 days in somewhere. I'm telling you, 1 day, Charlie, the suffering you suffer in Akuse. And if you can see in prison, only 1 door. Wow. Yes, if you can see in prison, where is the sun? There's no sound. One word.
Usiamfone for nyate sanse matches na nyine na nyasem keto anje say in semi brain na led and so ya ambassador ono so abeka lista Matias wo mudi nsemu edi egugu a chese na eyede na nyasem keto na enyewa we nyina akoso na nzo nkofuri ayo mani tse de omo hundi yeko prosecution for the prosecution de empia manuko enomede o me face pa en nkofuri da magogo gina court no intimi yakofado mani mfemuda intimi yakofado appointees ni mfemuda because nkofuri ya de ayese ansa na be president Krampono is a would some amount to be in dollars. I'm a brony be babonti be exposing nkofuri be organ ha even in Kenya pon tamano or president amount wakasenia our sense of watch side on constraints or exposing a sense of watch so on so kasanko for no more Jesus can answer now the president of the block of Ghana president ex-president Akufo-Addo no Newz anima we now koso I to say Attorney General Dominic Ayeni nyuma our office of the special prosecutor Kesi jabi to ni BND bwano because nima ekoso no ekwa say oh we answer me found but where the prosecution even become where the you people face the law and JB and you to me go to you yourselves and my brain champions our time on go kway on practice or brain champion babontin at the on one gas in the fields and then you surety a man but later on Attorney General Dominic Ayeni babontin is another charge aside upon I just say Emranga never Emrando made ombe face pipa because didn't I had a ginger and go for him Momu Sika Sebi a gombotum Ria bicycle and the ginger me pa as the time I go for a clear she said a pan catching in my dear she said a sometimes I go any Akufo-Addo kasa semu di any a kwande he beat my AVB and Uncle Fui AVV sika from sika even say be call Guyana this alleged semi pre ne bedu to bia na yede na nya asem ketwa no we no say during for time ana kofo president na ni chief of staff no Haruna Iseku edin no say amboni ya mo franchen ba montin be ka say wo hwi aban sika bre party no 10%. Then na kofo to when bi na mangashi. Then chief of staff Haruna Iseku ba montin be ka che kofo ministers no e ka say mo hwi aban sika wo make sure say mo bre eye party no MPP party no emu 10%, ne fa 90% no. So that slogan e bom so wieska no e bom enzi oma edomiti mezo medom wieska. So these are the things that ekoso is anything henya some ketwa. No we not say we didn't be man go na ngasa ngona. The chief of stolen money, millionaire thieves. Sana pasoche. Na also money mjia to the extent say one we on chamo campo. Na so it doesn't go for your mobile baby na shede ni te wo vitike wie munti. Omo via mane pros ni achano. Go it is na package ya. Sika juma ben wana ya nya sika we shesha mpaze. Emi yukura mpa woni mi se so ate. Masani ma wiri ekoso. Sani ma wi koso. Ngede na nya asem ketwa. Na owi no eno say Gyankrumah. Ene ma Gyankrumah be ye no na nya asem ketwa. Tizanko funi ya do made obe face mra no. Sasemi lady ene ya lesa matia ni mboka mi masi. Aba point ndo montoma bano edisa nsemi ya betutudwa. Tis no many ambre bo akofadu bo ale akofadu mrs ni hu se sini na ba beto mo am can say meet man charging or comment such buildings wa share am madam for sini bi ahwe higher for one Gyankrumah.